Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to the free mushroom money webinar. Much awaited, long awaited. Discover the secrets of mushroom business. Learn how you can make 250,000 naira to 600,000 naira every 3 months farming mushrooms from your house. As a matter of fact, as you see from the webinar, that figure is going to be grossly understated. You can make even much more. So what to expect from this webinar? First thing is to have a basic understanding of the 6 stages of production of mushrooms. Secondly, you're going to discover the money aspect, the financial aspect. How can you earn between 250,000 naira to 600k every 3 months? Learn how you can sell your mushrooms through our affiliate croppers program. This is a program we designed a situation where we can buy from you, but this is optional. You can decide if you have a market already, you can sell, but this is optional. Then you get to see some real-time testimonies from some of the people who are our affiliates and people that we have trained and are doing the business. Then also get a free gift or a discount at the end of the webinar. Why should you listen to me? First things first is I have some 5 years business experience. Also, if you are a farmer like I am, or you're an agriculturist like I am, I can see that I understand your pain because I've been through the process. I'm actually doing this process and I'm not just talking about it. I want you to be successful so much that I'm willing to sacrifice my time and my energy to support you. And I have designed this system to make the business very pleasurable and exciting for you, and you can make an insane return on investment even without any previous experience in this business. And what is my story? I started my career as a marketing specialist. I developed a desire to create a second income stream. Like many of you, I was led to agriculture, and I spent almost 2 years practicing and doing some research in the agri space. I encountered some stumbling blocks in the industry that make it hard for a lot of people to make sustainable income over time. But mushroom farming really has been the icing on the cake and has provided solution to many of these problems for me. These are some of the challenges I encountered with other agri business. I will not waste time on this slide. Land, for example, long maturity period, high preservation issues, you know, high running costs and maintenance practice. These are some of the challenges I had with agri businesses. But this is why mushroom business is unique. This is why mushroom business is really the icing on the cake. It's a solution to that problem. Number one, you can farm mushrooms from the comfort of your home. As you all know, you have fraudulent farm managers who are out there looking to take advantage of you. And also, farming from home will save you a lot of money, unnecessary transport costs. Going to the farm, coming back from the farm every week, you're saving money by farming from your home. Now, another issue in the agri industry is long period you have to wait before your crops are matured and before you can start making money. But for mushroom, the production cycle is very short, in as short as 14 days as a cropper. 14 days as a cropper, you start producing your fruit, and for a grower, that means you are starting the process from the very scratch. It will take you 8 weeks, and you can start generating fast cash from your business. Mushrooms are a superfood. What do I mean by superfood? Superfood simply means those foods that you have that are loaded with so many nutrients that they supply to your body. So this gives them a high market value compared to other common foods. Mushroom, the startup for running mushroom is very low, as you'll see very soon. Most of the materials that you will be needing to start your mushroom business are free or cost next to nothing. So when you start selling these mushrooms, you can generate up to 300% return on investment if you do the business correctly. Mushrooms are non-seasonal crops, so you can produce all year round, keeping your customers happy. And many other advantages like preservation. Preservation is not a problem at all for mushrooms. As a matter of fact, when you process your mushrooms, they become more nutritious and they have a shelf life up to 2 years. You'll be learning more about this as we go along. Now, the global demand for mushrooms is estimated to be $50 billion annually by 2025 from the source NAMCO. You can verify this online. And what does that mean? The question I really want to ask you is, out of this $50 billion, how much is going to be your share by 2025? How much is going to be your share? That's the biggest question to ask you right now. But thank God today you have the opportunity to plug into this amazing opportunity. Another interesting statistic is the fact that mushroom is currently employing over 30 million people in China. 30 million people in China. That is about uh, the population of Lagos. Mushroom alone is employing 30 million people in China. Now, who are your potential clients and market? You know Domino's Pizza. You know any other pizza place like Debonair's Pizza. Any pizza place needs mushroom because they use mushroom on a daily basis. You have restaurants and hotels, Chinese restaurants and hotels, fast food eateries, and they are numerous across the country. You have your friends and your family. You have supermarkets and other retail outlets like ShopRite, like Spa. All of these places are the places where you find your market. So the market is enormous. As a matter of fact, from my personal experience with this business, you'll find that the demand for mushrooms in Nigeria is far exceeding the production of mushrooms in Nigeria, which is why you have opportunity like this today for you to join that supply of mushrooms. What are the requirements? You need only 30 minutes daily if you're going to be a cropper. So, for example, you work in a corporate institution and you do not have the time, you only need 15 minutes in the morning before you step out, and 15 minutes at night when you get back to water your mushrooms. The next thing is a positive mental attitude. In mushroom business, we say mushroom business is as simple as ABC. That means always be careful. Thirdly, you need to have the willingness to learn. You need to have the willingness to learn. So let's quickly go into the 6 stages of mushroom production: the spore, the compost, bagging, pasteurization or sterilization, inoculation, incubation, and cropping. Stage 1 is the spawn. What we call the spawn? When you see the spawn, you see it's very whitish. It is simply the seed of the mushrooms. We don't really call them seed, that's why we call them spawn. And there are 3 major categories of this mushroom spawn. The first being the mother culture, which is the most potent and the most expensive. You have the first transfer, which is derived from the mother culture, and then the second transfer, which is derived from the first transfer. But if you're just starting out, you can start out with the second transfer. If you're more experienced, you can use the mother culture. This is just a video of what they look like. This is a video of what the spawn look like in our lab. So we produce the spawn. In case you are finding, because this is a little bit difficult sometimes to get, this is the mother culture. We have the first transfer and we have the second transfer, as you can see on the bottom right. Let's quickly move to the next stage, which is the composting stage. This simply refers to the mushroom soil. So now you've seen the seed of the mushroom, which is the spawn. Now the seed need a place to germinate and grow and mature, which is the compost. So how do we prepare the compost? Compost has only 4 components. The first one being the sawdust, the second one the rice bran, the third one the calcium carbonate, and last one water. What is the function of this? The sawdust, those of us who are familiar with mushroom from the villages, You know that they grow anywhere there is wood, or they grow under the tree during the rainy season. They grow under the tree. So mushroom need a wood base to grow. That sawdust is just simply providing that wood base for them to grow. The rice bran is simply a nutritional element of the mushroom. We use this to supplement the nutrients for the mushroom. The calcium carbonate, or which some people call the limestone, but not really limestone, just calcium carbonate. The calcium carbonate is the binder. It sticks the sawdust and the rice bran together so that it can be solid, and water of course is the mixing base. So if you want to do your mixture, follow the measurement that has been given here. Sawdust 300 kg, rice bran 90 kg, calcium carbonate 300 grams, and water 300 liters. So you can see 1 liter per 1 kg of sawdust, and you can see that all of these ingredients are free to get. So how does it look like when you're starting this? So you see, the first step is to get your sawdust bag and rice bran. You offload it like this. The next step is to simply sieve it so that the particles can become fine. You sieve the sawdust so that the particles can be fine. And then lastly, you do the mixing, which is the mixing of all of these different components with a sprinkle of water here and there. So let's go to the next. The composting process actually goes on for about 4 weeks. For 4 weeks. You can see from the video, you just mix and you remix. So you decide a day. If it's Monday, you do every Monday for 4 weeks. You're going to mix it like this. Remix. You can see the sawdust is not too wet because it's only very damp. It's just damp. So this has all of the components inside. And you will heap it. After mixing it, you heap it by the wall. You put a tag which is going to date it, your starting date. You put your starting date, write it, and then you use cement blocks to prevent it from erosion. The next is bagging. This is simply after the 4th week of mixing and composting. Your compost at that stage is already very how do I call it? It has I would say fermented, but it is just composting. It's already fermenting. So the next is to package them into small polythene bags, just as you can see here. This will be the home of that mushroom. After bagging them, you need to pasteurize or sterilize, and the goal of this pasteurization is to kill other microorganisms and other germs that are going to be inside that bag competing with the mushroom. So before we introduce the mushroom, we sterilize the bag. How does sterilizing work? You can see we use a drum here. We call it the sterilizing drum. This is an equipment. You can get a local fabricator to do this for you, or you can contact us and we'll fabricate for you. It basically has hot water, boiling water under. We put fire to the bottom and put hot water. Then we put a base under the drum where the mushrooms can sit, just like you can see in the video. So the mushrooms will sit there and absorb the heat immediately. So we do this for about 2 to 3 hours with heat under the drum. 2 to 3 hours. You cover the drum when you're done with this. You cover the drum and you leave it to boil for 2 to 3 hours, thereby killing the germs. Let's quickly go to stage 5, which is inoculation and incubation. This step is where you now have your bags have been sterilized. It is time to introduce the spawn to the bag, just like the way you have in livestock. The sperm needs to be introduced to the egg at the right time. So with this is really the most sensitive part of mushroom business. This involves a lab process. As you can see, all the technicians They are very, very careful. You can see that there is a sterilizing process going on using methylated spirit. As you can see, where the spawn are being placed on the table is very, very clean. Everything is very sterile in here. You can see a hand wash. This is a hand sterilizer, so his hands have been sterilized. You can see him putting a face mask. All of this is being done really to reduce the chances of contamination by other microorganisms into your bag. Very, very carefully done. So how do we introduce the spawn into the bag? As you can see, that's the bag. They were sealed with rubber bands. Now the goal is first to open the bag. Now you can see him holding a T-punch. This is not necessary. You can use a T-punch, but you may not use a T-punch. What is he trying to do? He's trying to drill a hole down to the bottom of the bag, with which he will now apply the mushroom spawn down inside that bag. But you may decide to not use a T-punch. So as you can see here, he has opened the bag, drilling that hole, and then you get the mushroom spawn. It might be a little bit stiff, so you just shake it just a little bit just to dislodge the spawn. Don't shake it too much, just a little bit, so that it will be able to come out effectively. And you can see him is pouring it now. In this lab, you do not have, people don't talk in this lab because microorganisms are in your mouth, and those microorganisms can attack the mushroom, even though it cannot be seen. They can attack the mushrooms. So the spawn is applied judiciously across the face, across the bag. Immediately he's covering the spawn back, and he tied the mouth of this bag. Seal it back. After sealing, send it to incubation. After sealing, send it to incubation. So let's quickly go to incubation. Now this is where the bags rest, so that the mushrooms can really spread inside that compost. As you can see, it is a very cool environment. It's cool and it's dark. Mushrooms grow in the night, so if you provide a dark environment for them, you are giving them a chance to grow even during the day. So they will spread throughout the bag into a whitish substance, as you will see next, which is the cropping stage. Now the stage of incubation will last about 10 to 14 weeks, 10 to 14 days, 10 to 14 days, which is about 2 weeks. Now this is where the croppers come in. The croppers, let me quickly explain the difference between the cropper and the grower. Now the cropper is coming in at this stage to buy those bags and simply just crop them, as you can see in this picture. Meanwhile, the grower is the guy who has decided to go through that whole process from the beginning, mixing the compost, inoculation, and then finally cropping. But for the cropper, you don't have time. Maybe you have a busy schedule. You simply just come in here, you buy these bags, and then you start producing your mushrooms from the house. As you can see from this beautiful picture, the cropping has to be done in a clean environment also. It has to be done in a clean environment also. So let me show you this short clip how to crop. First thing is to tear the bag. Now when you buy the bag are white like this. You can see the mushrooms have penetrated through that brownish bag. All of a sudden the brownish bag is looking white. But the first step is to cut or tear using a razor blade the top and the bottom of those mushroom bags. The whole idea is so that the mushroom will have space to be able to come out into fruition. So the next thing, as you can see, your bags need to be placed in a very, very cool environment. And you can see these bags are not directly facing sunlight, they are in a dark environment. So that's also very important because your mushroom, they don't really need sunlight to grow. This is not a crop, this is a microorganism, and they need the environment to be clean, as you can see in this video. Then the goal is to water these bags 2 times daily. At this stage, the mushrooms are almost 90% sure to produce because they have survived the last couple of stages. And you can see this our mushrooms are producing in a very healthy way. How do you water the bags? It's also very simple. It's a very simple method. Watering your bags is also a very simple method. You can use improvise with a simple bottle, a simple Regulus bottle. You load it with cold water and you bore holes from the top, just like you can see in the video. Now it is important to note that when you are watering your bags, you water the surface of those bags. Water just the surface. Do not water on top of the mushrooms. You're asking, why hasn't he germinated this? Why hasn't he harvested these mushrooms? Because these mushrooms are not yet mature. How do you know when they are mature? As you can see, this particular one, their edges are still facing down. They're still facing down, so they are still a little bit mature. But if you look here and you see this particular one that my cursor is on, you see that the edges have already begun to face up. They're facing upward. These two, they are mature to harvest. So in the moment you notice the fruit is facing upward, it is mature to harvest. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the simple procedure of mushroom farming. So you can start at this stage becoming a mushroom farmer. Becoming a mushroom farmer. Quickly, as an extra bonus, I will give you the sealing and packaging stage. And with this, you just need to do your printing. You print your company details and information, nutritional ingredients. Also, it's advisable to get NAFDAC before you can start processing packaging and to sell in supermarkets. You need to get NAFDAC. And you need a sealing machine, which is not very expensive, and a weighing machine. A weighing machine and a sealing machine. That's the two things that you will need. So you weigh your crops and then you package them for sale. So you can become a cropper today, and in the next 10 to 14 days you start producing. You only need 15 minutes in the morning, 15 in the night to get as commitment to your business. And also, should you decide to join the affiliate croppers program, you'll be able to give us your crops and then we sell for you and give you your money. So you will find out more information about that as we go along. Quickly, let me go into the profit analysis. How do you get to make this money? I've been talking about 250,000 naira to 600k every quarter as a cropper. You don't even need to be a grower to make this money. Just as a cropper, you can make this money. As a grower, of course, there are certain advantages. Even though it takes longer to be a grower, but you save more money. The only thing you spend on as a grower is the spawn. And with that spawn, one bottle of that spawn can do 5 bags for you. But as a cropper, it is very easy and it's very fast. So in 10 to 14 days, you start producing. Now, as a cropper, what are the costs that you need? The first one is to buy one bag. It's going to cost you 1,000 naira. Now, each of these bags is going to produce 1 kg over a space of 90 days. 1 kg over a space of 90 days. So when you buy those bags and you start using them, even though the growing starts to slow down, because normally when you first buy them, they are very potent. They produce maybe every 3 days, every 2-3 days. But when you start approaching the second month, it slows down. You keep it for 90 days and it produces 1 kg. So What is the price of selling this mushroom? On the market right now, we are selling the fresh mushrooms 1 kg at 2,500 naira. 1 kg at 2,500 naira. So if you're buying 100 bags, for example, that means 100 bags is giving you how many kg? 100 kg. And if you're selling 100 kgs, that is 100 times 2,500 naira, making 250,000 naira. Now, if you want to make up to 600k, you can use this for any number. You do 240 bags times 2,500 naira, that is about 600,000 naira. I'm just minimizing this scenario for you because you can do up to 1,000 bags, do up to 1,000 kgs. If you do 1,000 kgs and you're selling that at 2,500 naira, that is 2.5 million naira. You can make in the space of 3 months. So it's really up to you to decide how much are you willing to invest into the business. Once again, these are some of the recipes from actually the application of this mushroom. We're talking about mushroom. As you can see in the soup, they look just like meat. There's no difference between this and meat. Absolutely no difference. Everything you do with meat, you can do with mushroom. Eforiro, pepper soup, or father rice, and so on and so forth. So let me quickly go into the Affiliate Copper program. What's that about? It's essentially a training platform where we train you to produce professionally. We give you an option of buying your stock from you because we have from time to time we have orders for large quantities of mushroom, and we're also processing and selling our mushroom at retail outlets. So we give you the option of leveraging us to sell your mushrooms. And lastly, you can partner with other farmers in our network. You can put your money and your ideas together and you can scale your business much faster. Now, to become a member of this is a discounted rate. We're giving this discounted rate for a limited period of time. To be a grower, normally going for 50,000 naira, we're giving you today at 35,000 naira. What does this entail? You're going to go through 6 weeks intensive live training. We're going to invite you to our lab where you will come once a week for 6 weeks and you will practically do the mushroom business training. After which we'll give you 90 days free consultation. When you start your business, we'll give you a support system. For a cropper, you only need 1 day live training. We'll train you live in our lab how to crop effectively, and we'll also give you a bonus training on processing. Now let me quickly go into the features of this. When you decide to become a partner in Affiliate Cropper, you get full access to Affiliate Croppers program as a grower valued at 15,000. 6 weeks live training on all the 6 stages valued at 35k. You get a free training on packaging, free training on mushroom processing valued at 15,000. A 90 days consultation, free mushroom recipe manual for those of you going into the food business, then free NAFDAC acquisition consultation. So should you want to get your NAFDAC, we'll give you free consultation on how to go about that, which is valued at 20k. So the total value of 120,000 naira is given to you today at a discounted price of just 35,000 naira, one-time payment today. What are the benefits? You become a professional grower and you can make money on demand anywhere in the world. So if peradventure something happens, you have to travel out of the country to another African country, you can start from scratch and you start becoming a millionaire because you have this skill with you. Also, we provide a ready market option for you. If you decide you don't want to sell your products, you need the support, we can support you that. And then as a grower, you get to save up to 50% cost of production than being a cropper. For the cropper, there are many also benefits: full access to ECP, 1 day live training on cropping, free training on packaging, free training on processing, free 90-day consumption, free mushroom recipe manual. The total value of 80,000 naira given you today are just 10,000 naira one-time payment. And what are the benefits? You save yourself the time and stress of production by becoming a professional grower. So instead of being a grower, spending 8 weeks, all you need is just uh, 10 to 14 days really to start producing. 10 to 14 days. We also give you the ready option market for you. So if you're a very busy person, you just want to go into the business as an option to start making money in a short space of time, you become a cropper. You come in for 1 day, I will train you live, and we also give you a 90-day consultation. Now imagine how powerful and secure you would feel knowing that you now have a skill and a business that will pay you for a lifetime. You made the payment one time, you go through the process of learning one time, and you develop a skill set that you can use to print cash anytime. How would that make you feel? Just take a second and think about that. Look at some of the reactions from our latest trainees that people who've trained reaping the benefits of their hard work and the benefit of that training. As you can see over here, positive news, positive news, positive news. Finally, we give you a 90-day money back guarantee. If you go through that training and you cannot effectively produce mushrooms after going through this training, after practicing what we have told you live or from our lab, if you are not being able to be successful, you can claim your money back in 90 days. Walk up to me and I'll give you your cash back. So you don't have anything to lose, you have only guaranteed value for your money. So just click the link below to join the WhatsApp group. We have a WhatsApp group. You join the WhatsApp group below and you make inquiries and make payments for the training. The next training that we're having is starting on January the 16th. January the 16th. So time is running out. Make that decision today and stay tuned. Thank you.